Never underestimate this invisible thread, for often the smallest things hold the greatest power. This is Professor Wang's flying blade, though its thickness is only 1/10 that of a human hair, once arranged parallel across a river's surface. It can even slice through a steamship to retrieve the intact hard drive from the Judgment Day. Experts exhausted every method, yet none proved viable. Spherical lightning and nerve gas only functioned within limited ranges, leaving other crew members time to destroy the hard drive, while neutron bomb blasts could instantly incapacitate the entire ship's crew. They would simultaneously damage the hard drive, just as military experts were at a loss. Captain Schur proposed using flying blades to cut through the ship. The sole issue was the limited number of flying blades available. Thus, each blade could only be spaced 50 centimeters apart. This necessitated daytime execution, as nighttime would find people lying down to sleep only during daylight hours, whether walking or crouching. Would people maintain a height exceeding 50 centimeters, since this large-scale weapon resembled the Chinese zither? The operation was named Project Guzheng. Before long, the day arrived to intercept the Judgment Day. The engineering team had installed pillars along both riverbanks, with parallel flying blades mounted upon them, to prevent collateral damage to other vessels. The blades were submerged underwater. Before the Judgment Day vessel arrived, Professor Wang sat before the monitoring equipment, nervously awaiting the target's appearance. Once the last small boat had passed, they raised the Guzheng. What appeared to be an empty water surface had in fact been transformed into a deadly net. This colossal vessel, converted from an old cruise ship, had its pilot cautiously scanning the water, yet whether through radar or the naked eye, the surface ahead appeared perfectly calm, so the pilot relaxed, chewing gum, unaware that death beckoned just ahead. 2 minutes later, the ship entered the lethal red zone. Everything seemed normal, but in reality, the bow had been sliced into shreds. As the Judgment Day advanced step by step, sparks and strange noises began emanating from the hull. Only then did the crew on deck feel a flicker of unease, yet they could not see the flying blades. Even as they witnessed life was being severed, they failed to grasp the danger's arrival, until the moment their own bodies were cleaved apart. They remained utterly bewildered by the situation. There was no time left to utter a single cry for help. When the professor saw crew members sliced into 3 pieces, the professor broke out in a cold sweat. Soon, the ship had traversed most of its path. Even though this colossal vessel had been sliced into sections, it maintained its shape and continued forward, due to immense inertia. In the deepest chamber of the ship, a man guarded the hard drive containing the Trisolaran's information. When the flying blades passed through his body, he felt not a hint of pain. Only when a creaking sound came from the hard drive behind him, did he lower his gaze to his own body. Finally, the entire ship passed through the flying blades. It traveled some distance before slowly disintegrating. Amidst a deafening screech of grinding metal, the ship collapsed like a slice of toast, ultimately reduced to a heap of scrap iron. Not a single soul aboard survived. As for the hard drive storing the Trisolaris data, even though it had been sliced by the blades, the cuts were so fine and clean that after repair, the information could still be extracted intact.